Oh yeah, this is gonna be a big nostalgic video right here because I am taking it back. Now I have talked about this quite a few times in other videos, talking about there's some handhelds I did get in, and they was kind of like, they was old and they're scratched up and stuff like that. But I wanted to change out some of the part, kind of do some upgrades. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm gonna do with this particular handheld. And this one right here is the Game Boy SP. Yes, this is the original. This is not a rebuild, nothing like that. It's actually in pretty decent condition, but you could just tell it's got the old screen. It's just original piece of history, and it works well. I mean, I tested it, made sure everything's functioning and the battery and everything else, but I haven't got a chance to look at the battery from the inside. I'm probably going to be checking it later once we do a breakdown. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of upgrade of the shell and maybe and the screen. I want to do upgrade, and I finally got it in, and I wanted to kind of go ahead and just show you how I do it. This is actually my first time doing a shell swap and a screen upgrade of the Game Boy SP. Now, if you guys seen my other videos, I do like to do stuff like this. I'm also going to upgrade the battery, and I got two of them here because I have my original Game Boy SP, which you guys have seen. I got the little screen on the top, and it's all set up and stuff like that. But I'm actually going to do a shell swap on that one too, but I'm just going to do that one later on down the line a little bit. But this one is actually what I wanted to do for the website. Let's see how everything turns out, you guys. All right, let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. Just in case I get corrected, I know it's Game Boy Advance SP. I just call it Game Boy SP for short. All right. Now, going up in this thing, okay, it comes with all the tools, all the stuff that you need. It's got a tri-screw, and plus it has a regular screwdriver. I'm using the tools that's provided here and all the stuff that's here because these things does have the magnetic ends, so that just in case I can be able to grab the screws when I need to and do the stuff I need to do. Plus, just in case if you decide to get one, but I don't want to call this like a tutorial or a how-to video. You can follow along if you want to. I make mistakes, okay? And if you find faster ways or other ways to do it faster than what I can do, or different ideas, please leave in the comments though. That way we can all help each other out. And with that out the way, let's dive in. All right, so right here, 5 screws, plus you got just one like in the middle with the battery cover up inside, okay? You got rid of 4 screws plus that one in the middle. You're gonna see one right under the battery, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and just remove this for a second. And then this particular battery, you could just tell it's kind of like puffed up, so that means that this battery is pretty bad. Battery definitely needs to be changed out. I'm gonna go ahead and like dispose of that after I get through, but I'm gonna put it to the side. Then you got one more screw right here, and then we're just gonna unscrew that real quick. Okay, now we can just go ahead and remove the back shell. Plenty of time. Now we got to the board. This should be pretty easy. We got 3 screws right here, and we're just gonna remove these right here. That one's the regular screwdriver. Don't forget to take off this little steel piece right here, this little steel box, little thing right there. Just make sure you just take that out. Use like a little bit like a tweezers or something like that. Make sure you have tweezers. You might need them later in different cases. But that done, just watch out for the ribbon down here. There's a little ribbon down here. You just got to be careful. So I'm gonna take off these little pieces for the buttons. I might need them later just in case. I'm not sure. But what I'm gonna do, there's 2 tabs right here, and I'm just gonna pull these 2 tabs down on each side. I'm just gonna take my time and see if I can kind of like push them down. It should be, yeah. With these particular tweezers, remember the ends is like, it's not sharp at all, so that's really good. So I can able to push that down. Just be careful that ribbon. That ribbon can, if that ribbon rips, dude, that's just, it's all messed up. Now we're just gonna pull that speaker, and the speaker is just like just sitting there. Just all you gotta do is just kind of like stick finger up in there and just kind of just like pop it up, move it out the way. And don't forget to remove the little sponge thing or the little shield that's right there. I'm just gonna, then like if you want to get the buttons and stuff, you can take those out at this point in time, but I don't think I really need it. But there's also another screw behind the ribbon on the back side. Okay, this part is tedious. Okay, so all you got to do is just kind of push one side, the side you can actually see, just kind of use the back of the tweezers or something like dull and just kind of push out just a little bit until it pops out. It takes time, but take your time. When it pops out partially, then just pop it open into like a regular point and then go ahead and just push the rest of it out. Once you do that, you should be good. Okay, push the rest of it out. Then now just go ahead and just kind of lift this other side, but just kind of do a little bit of a shake, but just be real light. Don't try to like be forceful. Watch that ribbon. Watch that ribbon. I could have ripped that right there. See, I make mistakes. Now, after I get through, I'm gonna take the sharp point of my tweezers, the sharp ones, and I'm just gonna stick it all the way through. But once I get like a good groove in there, I'm just gonna use my finger and kind of lift up. And then that way I could be able to take care of those pieces just in case I need them later on, because I think the kit already has all these little pieces, but just in case, or maybe I want to do like 2 colors or something, I could do something like that. Make sure you take them all off. I would just kind of like just fast forward it with this. So after you get rid of all those, all those pieces, and then now we able to have access to the screen, and the screen is just easy to pop out. This build is like pretty simple. Seriously, compared to like some of the old Game Boys and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty simple to take out and replace. Then now we're just gonna go ahead and like look at this stuff right here and see what it came with. And it came with a complete shell, which is super cool. It's got all the buttons and the trigger buttons in the back and stuff like that, so I don't have to do anything. That's what's cool about this particular setup. This whole thing came with the screen. It's just like pretty cool. So now we got all of our screws here in just in case we need them. I'm gonna try to use some of the old screws, like what's provided that I already have been using. And then now we got our screen and just a little bit of I don't know, advertisement, I think. But other than that, we're just gonna get to the good parts and we're gonna get to this board. And it comes with an extra wire. The extra wire is for if you want to solder to make the light button work, in which that's a goal I'm thinking about doing. Okay. And this is that's like a little sticky. You probably need to use that later. Let's go ahead and then that's just that little wire right there. What I'm gonna use, I'm just gonna use the little baggie so I can just protect the screen right there so it don't get scratched up or nothing like that. I'm probably the bag probably ain't gonna it is probably not a good idea, but anyway, okay. The little sticker in the back, you just gotta place that first sticker right on the back of the screen. That's first. Then we just got to connect the ribbon cable to it. Make sure you connect it with the plug thing, probably going insert it inside, so don't do it backwards like I almost did. And just kind of and then there's a little flap right there, so you just gotta, once you push it in and then close that little door on top so it can fit snugly in there, like nice and tight. Just gotta take your time, and once that cap closes, then you're good to go. Now the ribbon's supposed to flap under, so remember that. Okay, so I just want to let you know it's gonna flap under before. But now there's a plug right there on the very end of it. You got to plug those 2 pieces together. Okay, before I use this right here, I'm just prepping this whole thing up so I don't have no problems with it. It's gonna take time, but yeah, that's double-sided tape. Okay, so just in case, and if you don't have double-sided tape, like if this doesn't come with double-sided tape, just get double-sided tape. You're gonna probably need it, but I'm gonna try to reuse this piece a little bit. And then now these 2 little wires right here, it's like tape, like adhesive on it. You just gotta try to get it off. Like just be delicate with it, because these wires are very, very small. And then once you get it, just kind of paste it on the bottom of it so that way the touchscreen part can work. And then now before I put the adhesive tape right there, remember I'm gonna flap that ribbon under the board, under the smooth part of the board, and then I'm just gonna apply that little piece of double-sided tape so it can stay there. That's exactly what I did. Now after that, we're just gonna take the piece off the front. Then I'm just gonna lay it in there. This particular setup that I got, it already came all together, so that means the case and everything was already pre-set up for it, so I don't have to do anything extra with this. So I just got to do it, just lay it in there, and then now I'm just gonna make like a little bit of just twirl it just a little bit, just at least once, and then set that back cap up on there. I'm just gonna set it up on there. Once I get it up on there, now let it stay. Then I'm just gonna try to apply a few screws. I might just screw them all back in really, really fast, because there's no reason for me to come back to this part with this. Now you just gotta do it, just insert part of it and then let it slip through that little slot right there, and then just kind of ease it on in. Just take your time. Once that's done, then now you got them both sitting there like that. That should be able to meet up just like that. There should be a board like in the back to hold like the buttons. If not, just go ahead and just put the buttons to the side and stuff like that until you get through. But once you got that ribbon in, let that ribbon just stick out a little bit. Now what I did, I just set it like this, like the little to the side, because you're gonna need these little caps if you want to change them out. If you don't want to, you don't have to. There's like an interest to it, slide these things off, but it just take a little bit of force. And once you get it, I'm almost like doing it off camera. But once you get it, push the little caps back on there. Then now remember each side, okay? There's a white side and there's a black side. I mean, I know that don't sound right, but okay. So once you get it partially pushed up in there on the side that it's supposed to be originally, just push it on there just a little bit. And then what you do, I want to show you because I already did mine. So what you do after you pushing it just a little bit, it's going to stop, but you just got to pop it open and then squeeze them both together. It's like a key, and then that's it. You're good to go. Got to put this little cap back on there, and that's going to cover that part. Now remember, there was a screw in the back of the ribbon. That's how that piece stays on there. So you just got to screw that piece on there, that part to stay up on there. Make sure it's nice and tight too, because that stuff will be loose, and yeah, you don't want that. Okay, now right here, this is where the soldering point is. You're gonna see, you see these two dots right there. You see the two dots right there. Okay, you're gonna get to that first dot right before you get to the information of part of that ribbon cable. And then right here, it's like right above the T-pad, you're gonna see two dots right here. That first one right there, that's the one at very top one right there next to the T-pad. And you're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna solder those 2 points right there if you want the button to work. If you don't, you don't have to go through any soldering at all, because the touch part works just fine. I mean, you don't have to go through all this if you don't want to. If you're not a person that solder, it's all good. Now you just put the ribbon back towards the thing. You just got to push the little things down to make sure that it locks in. Don't forget about making sure your little pieces is back on there, because you don't want to lose those. I mean, or if they're out of place, because when you put the buttons in there, the buttons should just be able to pop up in there in like a puzzle. Then we're going to take these 3 screws, and then we're going to slap those back up in there. Remember, there was like 3 screws, and I'm just making all types of mistakes with this thing. Okay, so I'm put these 3 screws up in there. Now I want to test it out and make sure that this thing comes on. So I'm pop the battery up in there. First pop the back on, then pop the battery, and look at that, it works. So obviously I did everything right. Everything's good. Because of copyrights, I didn't want to have the music on. So, but the sound works too. Then you got to put this little piece back on there. Now it fits in like a puzzle. It's kind of snugged in there. Might have to do just a little bit of pushing. In some cases they might it just flops up in there, but there's no telling. Okay, so now that I put the back on and stuff and got the battery up in there, I'm just putting all the screws back. Make sure that we're gonna use these caps, these little dot things that I need to do to cover up the screws. I'm using a glue stick, and I'm just rubbing across the glue stick. I'm just gonna stick into the thing. Okay, now you're gonna see some smudges and stuff like that around it. We're gonna take some alcohol with a little towel, and I'm just gonna wipe it off right there and just clean up the mess a little bit. And I'm gonna do that all the way around. Okay, so that way all the pieces will stick up on there, because I could have used crazy glue or something like that, drop glue, and I probably would have I would have messed up and probably dropped it on the screen, knowing me. So I'm not gonna do that. So that's why I figured that that'll probably be better. Now I'm gonna just put these little stickers on, the emblem right there, and then I'm just gonna flip it over and then put the other one. I am not that good as far as like aim. It's probably gonna look messed up. I don't know, just hopefully I don't get no grooves in there. Just trying to make sure that I did everything right. We have set up, but look at what I did. One of the screws I messed up on right there at the end, you could just see it right there next to the select button. I think I put the wrong screw on. That was my fault. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna have to go back in and I'm gonna have to change it. But I want to test this out, making sure everything works, making sure all the buttons work and everything else. In order for me to pull that bottom out, I'm gonna have to resolder. This is gonna get crazy, but you know what? I'm gonna change it back to the original blue. Now that I got it done, that took time, and I went ahead and resoldered the board and the piece once again, and then now I can open up and it has the blue one now, and the blue looks good. I think it's just like a little funny little color. It wasn't no bents or scratches. It looks really good, and I kind of like it. I kind of like this little discolored little Game Boy little Game Boy Advance SP, and it looks fun. The touch part works, and you get to change you get to toggle the different color palettes and stuff like that. All the buttons work. Let's go ahead and see if we can just do some moves and attack, and let's play around with this just for a second. Let's see. Yeah, seems like everything works pretty well, and it looks good. I mean, dang, dude, this screen looks amazing. Oh yeah, definitely. This is one's gonna look really nice. And you know what? I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna add this right to the website. If you guys want to pick it up, it'll be ready for you to go. You're gonna have an OEM charger. The charger's original. Yeah, I had fun doing this. I love doing this. It's like a great project, just being able to relax and do something nostalgic. And maybe just, and I'm really gonna be happy to see somebody just pick this up and being able to play their old games again, and being able to play, they just get nostalgic. And then I even got games on Game Boy Advance games on the website and stuff, so if you want to pick up some games and stuff. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna be out. All right, if you made it this far, I truly appreciate. All right, and if you guys if whoever picks this up, let me know in the comments if you decided to pick this up, and you might be a tinker, and if you want to mess around, if you say, hey, send me the old parts, the other part to it, like I still have the screen and stuff, let me know. I'll send that to you too if you want that too. All right, you guys, and from gamer to gamer, thanks for watching.